scrounging for crumbs like a timid field mouse, begging some simpleton who bumbled her way into the role of heartless dictator for guidance? Not me. I choose to embrace everything that makes me human. I choose to carve my own way through this new world. I am not a lowly animal. I should not be acting like one. Humor me for a moment while I recount an old Bayou legend. Many of you listening will no doubt recall the campfire tale of Charlie Boy, who met his end at the hands of the Sukiyon at the Bogachita Swamp. But a lesser-known Charlie Boy tale is what I will regale you with now. As a youth, Charlie Boy was not one to adhere to rules. In fact, you could say the young lad was a bit of a miscreant. Thieving, vandalizing, terrorizing. Mischief was in his blood. And mischief is what made the man. On a sweltering summer's eve, one of those Nola nights when the air was so thick and hot a dragonfly could barely get airborne, Charlie Boy set out from his home in the 17th Ward and skulked on over to the Garden District with revenge thumping in his chest. His family had been wronged by some rich folk landlord types who were scheming to get Charlie Boy and his family evicted for no good reason at all. Now, Charlie Boy knew there wasn't much he could do, being just a 12-year-old beanpole. But he was not about to sit idly by and let old money greed ruin his family without landing a counterpunch. So out of chicken wire, Charlie Boy molded a huge head and put an old Pulcinella mask on it, the nose stretching down to the chin. He painted the whole thing black as night. With the head on his shoulders, Charlie Boy stood a gangly 7 feet tall, a messenger from the underworld. When he found the mansion of his oppressors at midnight about to strike, he slipped over the backyard wall and scanned the opulent home for a bedroom window to tap upon and give the sleeper inside the fright of their life. Make them think death itself had come for them. Tap, tap, tap. But there was no need. The patriarch himself was lounging outside, 10 sazeracs deep in his nightly drunken stupor, half asleep and unaware. Charlie Boy knew this was his moment. He crept up and stood unnaturally tall behind this slob of a man, reached out and grabbed a spotty patch of thin hair atop his head and yanked it.
Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In my
Hey, you there? Hello? It's Casey. If you're there,
Please answer. I've got a situation. Please.
I can hear you. What is it?
Yeah, I got spooked the other day. The crash rattled me. I'm sorry, it's just... I don't know who to trust. There's not many decent options out there, but I'm getting desperate, so, I need to take a chance. What do you think? Can you help me out? Please?
You've got my attention.
I've been hearing things from the tower radio chatter. They found something, and I need it. Bad. Problem is, I have no way to get my hands on it without help, without you. Now, I'm willing to give up what I know about the reserve, in exchange. Does that sound fair?
What do you need?
A pump flow regulator. A tower patrol founded by Memorial Lane in the Garden District. It's just another useless piece of junk to have. The problem is, there's a potential showdown brewing over there between the patrol and a reclaimed camp. It could get bloody. Quickly.
What else? I like to be fully informed before putting my ass on the line.
Fair enough. What do you want to know?
Why are they fighting?
Resources, territory, two opposed ways of thinking, butting heads. I mean, from everything I've been hearing on the radio the last couple of months, the bad blood just keeps getting worse. Look, I'm staying out of it, but I can feed you more details if you want.
Who's running the show for each faction?
Mama leads the tower. She founded the community. I don't know much else about her. She stays out of sight. Her right hand, her enforcer, is Georgia. Now, she's out there on the front lines daily. And from what I hear, she's a hard ass. Not afraid to mix it up. Get her hands dirty, you know? The reclaimed rally around this guy named JB. And no clue what it stands for. He's always proselytizing over the airwaves. Frequency 54. Denouncing the tower. Saying they're already dead. He freaks me out a bit, but there's no denying he has charisma.
How do they operate? What do they believe in?
The tower is disciplined and committed to community. Everyone has to contribute to the cause. They must be doing something right. I've heard they have close to 1,000 people inside their walls. Tower folks are fiercely loyal to their way of life. Maybe even to a fault. A bunch of loose cannons and reclaimed. It's hard to know what they're up to most of the time. Their tactics are all about surprise and intimidation. Guerrilla warfare mentality. And they love creeping the tower people out. Weird rituals and stuff. They seem less interested in control and more into sending a message.
What's your take on all this?
If the fighting keeps up, this city's gonna explode into an all-out war. The tower maintains some sort of order, right? I mean, they offer some sort of semblance of safety, sure, but they don't hesitate to toss people out if they question authority. Once the tower kicks your ass out, there's no return. It seems cruel, but I don't know. Maybe that's the way it has to be. The reclaimed are eccentric. Let's put it that way. But JB really knows how to motivate, get people to buy into his vision. Maybe they're crazy, maybe they're onto something, I don't know, who knows. They are inspired, though. Always going on about the liberation to live, not just blindly following orders to barely survive. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're both a bit fucked in the head.
I've heard enough info on the conflict.
Okay. Sorry. I know I can ramble sometimes.
What's the area like?
The Garden District was one of the wealthiest areas of the city, so, no surprise, it avoided most of the flood damage. The folks hit hardest by the flood picked it as a spot for a memorial to victims. And 2 weeks later, when the dead started walking, the whole city was a damn memorial.
Why are they fighting?
Resources, territory, two opposed ways of thinking, butting heads. I mean, the bad blood just keeps getting... I can feed you more details if you want.
I've heard enough info on the conflict.
Okay, sorry.
I'm ready to do this.
The pump regulator is a piece of industrial equipment about the size of a coffee maker. Pipes, switches, knobs. You'll know it when you see it. Now, the Tower Patrol has it at their camp. Red House on Memorial Lane. And remember, reclaimed are nearby, so you might get caught in the middle of a scrap between them. Now, once you have it in hand, hustle back to the radio and contact me. Time is not on my side. If you pull this off, I'll spill everything I know about the reserve. You have my word.
Final warning, asshole! Leave! This house is off limits. Jeff is in charge. Not sure why, but he is. Talk to him if you want something.
No one gets inside. Strict orders. You have a problem with that, see Jeff. He's around the corner. No one leave or I'll blow your head off.
Anthony, how could he be so dense? He should have known better. You got nerve rolling in here uninvited.
Don't mean to intrude.
We don't need strays poking around right now. We have enough problems to deal with.
Maybe I'm the solution.
You know what? Yeah, you might prove useful. My brother is in some deep shit. Pack of reclaimed scum snatched him. Anthony's a good kid. Bit dim, but he doesn't deserve whatever those freaks have in store. We can't get anywhere near where they're holed up. Light Blue House across the way. They'll gut him immediately if they see us coming. But you? They don't know you. You'll be able to stroll right in. After that, whatever you need to do, that's your business. Personally, I'd put a few bullets through their skulls. Let the dirt reclaim them.
I like to know what I'm up against ahead of time. What are their numbers exactly?
We've seen as many as 4 on the second floor. But you never know. They multiply like rats.
Think I'm gonna sit this one out.
You have a chance to save a life here. Does that mean nothing to you? We're even offering supplies. Most strays would jump on this. If you wise up, come back and see me. What was he thinking? These are people who have chosen to be savages, not
where were we?
rational people. Finally.
Sounds like I can be of service.
Get to it then. Knowing how those savages operate, you might not have much time before they execute him. Anthony, how could he be so dense? He should have known better.
want this fucker to suffer. I want his mind to snap, thinking about the torture and pain he has coming his way. Who the hell are you? The negotiator? A big tough Jeff, too chicken shit to show his face and beg for his little brother's life. Not sure I really see the point.
I guess I'm here to negotiate a deal for Anthony's release.
Release? That's some kind of joke? That motherfucker isn't going anywhere but in the dirt, where maggots belong.
What did he do?
This subhuman shit is a murderer. My daughter is dead. The tower is at fault, and he is at fault. The tower preaches community, and yet they toss out those most in need because they are no longer useful. Because they are a burden. Violet was not a burden. She was a human being, but this fucker treated her like trash. He could have disobeyed orders, but he did not. He forced her out, left her to die. She was 11 years old. Where is your head at, stranger? Exterminate this tower fuck right now, and we won't have a problem. Then we can pay the rest of the vermin a visit. And once they are a pile of corpses, whatever is in their camp, it's yours. Consider it a gift from the reclaimed.
He deserves to die, and I will gladly do it.
I followed orders. That's all I'm guilty of, please. It wasn't my decision. If I didn't do it, someone else would have. There was no preventing her exile.
Do it already! Finish the fucker!
I tried to make things right. I tried. What I did was horrible, I admit it, but please, you don't have to do this.
Do it already! Finish the fucker! We did what we had to do, right? One less brain-dead tower slug plaguing the world. Fuck it! I think it's time to put some pressure on these fuckers. We're outnumbered, but we have momentum, right? Yeah! The time is right fucking now! You with us?
No time like the present.
That's the attitude. We've got this. Let's send the message that the future belongs to the reclaimed. This kid wants to work. You've got numbers. It's all time, asshole.
Just don't realize what a scumbag they are! Fuck it! I'll just leave you to the walker. Hate's not a strong enough word for you, tourist. Let's take this asshole down!
Where'd you go?
Some people just don't realize what a scumbag they are.
Let's take this asshole down!
When I find you, you're gonna beg for death.
Where is she? Nobody seems to know. The rumors are wide and wild. I can barely keep track of them all.